Hey everyone, Draco Prime 220 here, and all I gotta say is flawless victory. Yes, I actually did a out of theater reaction to out of theater thoughts to Mortal Kombat 2, and here is going to be a spoiler review. So in case you do not want to get spoiled, you have not seen the movie yet, or you're waiting for when it comes out on digital and Blu-ray, I'll give you at least 5 seconds to get off this video so you can go watch it and come back. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Anyone who's still here, you're gonna get spoiled. Our movie opens up with a young Kitana with her father, King Jared, who is preparing for battle with Shao Kahn because all their warriors have been defeated. I have said on multiple occasions, first impressions are very important. Shao Kahn, when he comes in, you feel the fear, you feel the power, and Shao Kahn is a powerhouse, and I will get into this, get into his character. King Jared vows that no one will bow, his kingdom will not bow to him. Shao Kahn just says, well, we shall see. And right off the bat, the first fight of the film is brutal. And you really feel for the Queen and young Kitana. Jared puts up one heck of a fight, but still, he's getting thrown around like a rag doll. There is this one point where he actually, he's preparing to kill Shao Kahn, but also, little side note here, Shao Kahn doing all, his abilities, the green energy tackle he does, I have to say, this is more like the game, and this is, I think, what a lot of people wanted from the first film, and actually got it here. This movie is a massive upgrade. But, yeah, King Jared is about to kill Shao Kahn. Shao Kahn stops him in the most painful way possible, and let me tell you, a lot of the scenes like that in this film, I was like, oh, I didn't get sick to my stomach, but I'm like, ow. Or I was like, well, you don't gotta worry about stomach cramps anymore, and you'll find out why I just said that in a little bit. Shao Kahn then basically turns around, impales both his hands together into his own sword, and Shao Kahn then takes the sharp end of his hammer and impales it through King Jared, killing him. And I felt for little Kitana, and I'm not gonna lie here, I actually started tearing up when I saw her crying for her father and watching him die. I will admit, this movie does have a couple emotional moments. In the first one, the only real emotional moment for me was when Hanzo Asashi saw his wife and son dead. Just seeing his reaction, his response, it broke my heart. But here, I'm like, there are a couple scenes where you actually get a little choked up. Well, I'm not trying to speak for anyone else, but me, I choked up. Little Kitana, like everyone else, bows. The Queen actually attempts to attack Shao Kahn, kills a couple of his minions, but then he's like, you bow or you all die. And unfortunately, she bows because she doesn't want to see her people killed. But it's, just to keep them safe. Except for little Kitana. And Kitana walks up, takes the blue sash from her father, and then she does the tying of her hair, and Shao Kahn just says, Kitana, your father shouldn't have brought you here. You're my daughter now. And you could tell the look in Kitana's eyes. She's like, I'm gonna kill you one of these days. It's coming. Payback is a bitch. Well, she didn't say that, but you get what I mean. But then we go ahead several years where Kitana's all grown up, and then she's sparring with Jade, and I like their friendship. I like how their friendship is tested throughout the movie. Jade is torn between her friendship with Kitana to her loyalty to Shao Kahn. Now I'm gonna say this: the costumes for all the characters, major upgrade, major upgrade. Like, I actually like how the weapons on Cole actually he actually can detach them, and actually he actually uses like some kind of, I think, like energy, sound energy, or some kind of firepower when he like slashes his weapons together. I really don't know what it is because it was never done in the first film. But I do like the upgrades and the little tweaks they made to the costumes, and even Jax's robotic arms. Everything here is a major upgrade. We then go to Raiden's Sky Temple, and I have to say the scenery is amazing to look at. It's like they literally grabbed the game, took parts out of it, and put it in here. Raiden is saying that, you know, the Elder Gods... Oh, wait a minute. I jumped ahead a little bit. Shao Kahn actually is, like, summoning Jade and Katana. And actually, I like the robe he's in. He looks kind of cool with a robe on. I don't know. You know, he's having the armor. He has the mask on, and he has, like, this robe on. I think that's kind of cool. And I don't know whoever played Shao Kahn. I've seen pictures of him. He is huge. I've seen pictures of him, and he's a freaking beast. To me, that is perfect casting for Shao Kahn. Even Shang Tsung, when he shows up, yeah, Shang Tsung is here. He doesn't really play a major part in a way he really didn't in the first movie either. But I actually have to say I like his costume here more than the first movie. I don't know, but his outfit kind of gives me Jafar vibes. I don't know, with the pointy shoulders and the vest, really gives me Jafar vibes. I don't know, is that just me? That's just probably me, I guess. But they need an amulet. This amulet, the Shinnok's amulet. And guess who has it? Kano. Lovely Kano. Yeah, and also Quan Chi shows up. But then, like I said before, we go to Raiden's Sky Temple, and the Elder Gods are saying Mortal Kombat. As soon as this hourglass empties, Mortal Kombat starts. And I like it that they have these like little flames, blue and red flames, to show you who, like, how many you got left till a realm either wins or loses, or how many fighters you have. And speaking of which, we actually meet Johnny Cage. I love how they actually do his introduction with like a classic 90s film font, and he like does, I'm not gonna try to do the middle finger here, but he like uses the middle finger to put on his sunglasses. He's fighting everyone. It feels like a 90s movie, and I like that. What happens is you see that footage, and then it goes to him sitting in I think a Comic-Con booth. He's sitting in a autograph booth with a bunch of other people, and he's looking at how others are getting a lot of attention. He just looks like, pardon my language, he's like, fuck this. And he's packing everything up, and then lo and behold, Raiden and Sonya Blade show up too, and he's at first thinks, oh, that, you know, you're just crazy fans or something. Nice seeing you, but just fuck off. I just want to be left alone. But then Sonya's like, just show him, and they actually take him to the Sky Temple. There we see Cole and Liu Kang sparring and practice fighting with Jax. It's a really cool little reintroduction. And about the Archon, the little dragon mark that they were using in the first movie, that's not brought up. Of course, Johnny Cage doesn't really want to be through this, because when he finds out that Kung Lao died, he's like, nah, I don't want to be part of this. Fuck that, as he says. And then, of course, we get a brief scene of Quan Chi bringing Kung Lao back to life. I'll get into Kung Lao here in a minute. But of course, Kano returns. And I like how he's like, he actually remembers that he got killed by Sonya Blade took the gnome and jabbed him in his eye, and he's missing an eye. I just have to say, once again, Kano steals the show in this movie. Second time too, because in the first movie, Kano was an absolute riot. He's a bad guy, but he's the bad guy you love to hate, but also the bad guy that you laugh at because he's genuinely funny, especially when he does the wah wah. Yeah, Kano is back and he's harping about, I need another eye, doesn't shoot lasers. Quan Chi doesn't really do much. He is kind of like slinking in the shadows alongside Shang Tsung and stuff like that, but he's very loyal to Shao Kahn. I don't know if it's out of fear or if he's just doing it because he's legitimately loyal. Maybe they'll decide to do a Deadly Alliance movie. I think one of the actors, either who played Kung Lao or Liu Kang, actually want to do a Shaolin Monks movie. Actually, Shaolin Monks was actually one of my favorite Mortal Kombat games, actually. That would be cool. It'd be kind of cool if we got like a Deadly Alliance or a Shaolin Monks film. That would be cool. Seeing more of Liu Kang and Kung Lao's brotherhood, and actually seeing Shang Tsung finally get a fight scene. Because spoilers, he doesn't get a fight scene in this. He kind of he gets a very humiliating defeat. I'll be honest with you. What also happens here is that the next round of fights is actually Johnny Cage, Jax, and Cole. Wait a minute, hold on. Liu Kang, no. Liu Kang, Johnny Cage, and Cole. This is where Kung Lao shows up, and he looks intimidating. I actually like the hat, the new version of the hat, because I know he had it as a Revenant in the games. It's like a nasty looking chainsaw hat. I mean, not buzzsaw, like a buzzsaw almost. I did hear that the actor who played Kung Lao actually went to a Shaolin temple and actually trained. Props to him, because you could definitely see there was genuine fighting style in that fight. And I have to say, the Kung Lao, sorry, tongue-tied. I'm a little tired. I actually had to walk to the theater and walk home. My apologies if I'm a little out of it. The Kung Lao and Liu Kang battle is actually one of the best fights in the film. I will be honest here, this one actually made me tear up because I just felt bad how it ended. I don't think this is the last we'll see of Kung Lao, but like when I said about how you won't have to worry about stomach pain anymore, during the whole fight, Liu Kang says, "I will find a way to save you," and like he gets Kung Lao's hat stuck in the ground and starts acting like a chainsaw, similar to how when Kung Lao took out Natara in the first one. He basically, as Kung Lao punches him, he grabs Kung Lao's arms, and he gets basically sawed up in the stomach, and it's very gruesome, but it's very sad to watch because basically he was brought back to life to serve Shao Kahn, just to end up being killed by his brother. It's very heartbreaking. Now about the whole Cole Young situation. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't really mind Cole Young in the first movie. I didn't mind him. I had no issue with him. I thought he was okay. Do I think they should have brought in Johnny Cage or made Liu Kang the main character? Yeah. But Cole Young, I know a lot of people did not like him. I didn't mind him. But, he dies. Yeah. Of course, Shao Kahn has Shinnok's amulet with Raiden's power, and he gets it imprinted on him to where he now has the power, basically, of a god. And he can heal from any wound and not die. He literally, he kills Cole by literally flipping him over and takes the hammer and smashes his head. And then, add to insult to injury, he literally pushes his body with his hammer into the acid, the iconic acid arena area with the hooks. To be honest, I actually thought he was gonna like take his hammer, swing and hit Cole Young, and send him flying, impaling him on a hook, and then maybe like throw his hammer and chop the chain, and send him into the acid. But no, I'm like, you disrespectful son of a bitch. Like, you ass. Disrespectful. Oh, that's insult to injury. You smash his head, wasn't that enough? Yeah, I'm like, holy cow, that was gnarly. The fight between Jade and Jax was actually pretty cool, and actually what's cool is that Jax spared her, and there's a good reason for that. The first two fights is Sonya Blade versus Sindel, and unfortunately Johnny Cage, who's at a bar drinking, and he gets summoned to fight Kitana. The Sindel fight was pretty cool. I liked how they had the iconic arena with all the spikes, and there was even at one point Sonya Blade uses a corpse to kind of shield herself from the screams. Oh my god, that fight also was pretty brutal too, but I'll be honest, I kind of felt more sorry for Johnny Cage, because he actually, damn, he's like, I don't want to fight you, I don't believe in hitting a woman, and Kitana's like, don't worry, you won't. I love the scene, it was in the trailer, where Kitana like throws the one fan, then like the one is like spinning mid-air, then she kicks it. I freaking love that. And Johnny Cage starts to fight back, but then I'm like, he's like, I'm out of here. And unfortunately for him, Shao Kahn's watching, and he climbs on the roof of this small little house, and I'm thinking, he's just a normal man. He knows martial arts, but he's right in this version. He's a washed-up actor. He's probably not really fought anyone in years. He's just a little rusty, a little bit. And he's like, he gets punched, like he gets I think she swipes him with her fan. He hits his, on the crevice, like the top of the roof. I'm like, oh. But then once again, add insult to injury, she pummels him through the roof the little outer roof of this building. And I'm like, how the hell is he surviving this? He doesn't have any powers just yet. And then I'll get to that in a little bit. And then I'm like, holy cow, what the hell? Like, the poor guy, he's barely able to stand, and he just plops over. And of course you get the iconic, finish him, from Shao Kahn. That whole sequence was pretty cool. I just felt so sorry for Liu Kang and also Johnny Cage. But I'll be honest, right now, straight with you right now, Johnny Cage and Kitana are the heart of this movie. I really believe personally they are. Of course, Kano gets his eye back, and of course he still has like a little mess, like his eyes kind of shooting lasers randomly a little bit. And he's like, "Oh, this one looks really good. Can you do it this one?" Once again, Kano's the best. But then this leads to them realizing Cole's dead, and then we actually end up where Shao Kahn says about like, I need Bihan, Sub-Zero. I really don't know why they didn't call him Noob Saibot. They just call him Bihan. But he's definitely Noob Saibot. And we see his burned corpse in Netherrealm. Basically, the Mortal Kombat equivalent of hell. I love the Noob Saibot design, and I like it when he says, I'm reborn. And actually, he does a little bit more talking in this than he did in the first movie, and I kind of like hearing him talk. I know he's not a guy of many words. He's more like fighting and stuff like that. I get it, the silent type, but it was nice to hear Noob Saibot talk. The next thing that happens is that they find out that Raiden is slow, he's draining of power, he's slowly dying, and they gotta find a way to get Shinnok's amulet. And this leads to my other favorite character of the film that I found a lot of enjoyment in. He was pretty much revealed. He was seen maybe a little bit of an hour in, a little bit over an hour in. Baraka. They go to the Tarkin camp because that is the way to the bottom of the basement of the castle. And in the midst of that, Kitana gets found out. Jade kind of basically backstabs her. Of course, she is just doing her job, and she is taken before Shao Kahn, and he threatens to kill her mother a second time. Shao Kahn is a monster in this. He is a beast. He's a powerhouse. He is a villain. Like, Sub-Zero was pretty much the main villain of the first movie. Shang Tsung really didn't do much in that movie. He didn't really have any good fight scenes, and to be honest, he doesn't in this one. It's a bit of a bummer. And what happens next is they go to the Tarkin village, and this little kid Tarkin goes and tells Baraka that we got guests. I love Baraka's design, and I don't know, I couldn't really tell, but is his mouth practical effects or CGI or a mixture of both? I think at one point the spikes on his arms, his bone blades or something, I think at one point in the fight that he has with Johnny Cage is practical, but I love Baraka's design. But of course, it's not Johnny Cage at first who Baraka fights. Liu Kang challenges Baraka, but Baraka's like, nah, I don't want to fight you. But you don't have an army. We'll be slaughtered if we help you. And then Johnny Cage, being who he is, this is where finally Johnny Cage embraces his destiny, if you will, and because he actually basically calls Baraka a coward and his people, and amongst other things. Kind of ticking off Baraka. Yeah, I wouldn't tick off the guy with the big mouth of teeth and the bone blades. That'd be like ticking off Wolverine. You're just asking to get gutted. But of course, Baraka is like, no, I'll accept your challenge, but not with you, Liu Kang. Johnny Cage. I want him. And he says, and Dragon's like, why? He's like, I find you annoying, and I want to eat you. And it leads into a very slightly comical fight, because at first it's Johnny Cage just trying to stay alive. But then Johnny Cage finally embraces who he's meant to be and actually fights Baraka. And the funny thing is, I find this kind of wholesome. I never knew I would actually like Baraka this much. Baraka actually is so, like, in awe of the fight. And he's like, my brothers and sisters, did you see that? Johnny fucking Cage. And I actually like it. He's like, we must learn your ways. And I love that. I don't know why. I found that wholesome, but funny at the same time, that Baraka, because Baraka is known to have been like an antagonist in the Mortal Kombat games. And here, I actually thought he was going to be an antagonist. No, he's kind of like he's like a guy just trying to survive with his people. But then when he's kind of into this position and fights Johnny Cage, he's actually a cool guy. And I do know in one of the games, like, you could not touch a Tarkin because it's like a disease. Here, I guess that's not relevant. I guess that's not part of this Tarkin in this movie, of the Tarkin in this film. Because in the games, yeah, they were like a sickness or something where if you touch them, you get the same teeth and grins and stuff. I just love that little interaction with Baraka and Johnny Cage, and Baraka actually helps out in a really cool way. He's like, sparking his blades against the wall, and actually, and he's like, and Johnny Cage says, I will come back and I'll teach you and stuff. I love it. I love it. I actually thought it was very wholesome with Baraka. Very cool guy. Whoever played Baraka, 10 out of 10 with me, with his performance, just giving the savagery and giving off this enthusiastic nature. Of course, this does lead to Shao Kahn finding out that he's got some unwanted guests. Sonya Blade, like, it's Kano, because Kano, not Kano, sorry, Johnny Cage, Jax, and Sonya and Liu Kang actually go in. They decide to separate, which leads to Shao Kahn showing up. And, oh boy, this is where I'm like, oh my god, I'll say this right now, they pulled no punches with this movie. Because they get into a very brutal fight, and Jax dies. Liu Kang pulls off some good moves, like with the 2 fire dragons, shooting fire in his face, and I love when Liu Kang says, "I want to see you burn." That was a pretty badass line. Johnny Cage tries his best to help out and support Sonya, but I'm sorry, poor Jax. Jax gets his arms broken off again. And I'm like, this guy went through hell in the first movie. First Sub-Zero froze his arms to the point of shattering. Now Shao Kahn does it with his robot arms. And I'm like, I felt so bad for Jax, and he tries his best, but then, like, Shao Kahn uses once again the tip of his hammer and impales it through Jax's throat and kills him. I was just so hard. I was upset. See, that's what I mean. There was a couple moments, the opening, the Liu Kang vs. Kung Lao fight, and Jax dying. I teared up. I can't help it. I'm like, I like these characters. You know, yeah, Kitana and Johnny Cage are the center characters of the story, but I really felt like no one is safe. Anyone could die. And, of course, this does lead to Sonya, I can't remember what happens to Sonya, but Johnny Cage, Kano shows up with 3 of Shao Kahn's goons. And, Kano actually says, this is what I love about Kano. Kano says, right there, you right there, you right there, right there. Right, sends a laser through all 3 of them and kills them. And I'm like, oh my god. I don't think Kano's really a bad guy. Well, in the games he is. But here, I think he's like a neutral. Like, if it's benefiting him. I really like when he decides to help out, get Shinnok's amulet back. But during the fight, Noob Saibot / Bihan shows up and says, I'll take care of it. And then he's out of there. This is where they go to Raiden, who they ask, could you send us to Netherrealm? And he says, I won't have enough power to bring you back. No one will know what you've done today. And what happens is they go to Netherrealm because they need a guide. Oh my god, this actually was one of the best sequences in the film on top of the final battle, because they pretty much merged together. Jade finally snaps and realizes she's on the wrong side, smashes the little Shao Kahn little amulet on the tip of her staff, and finally we get her glowing green Jade staff, which is pretty cool. And also, I didn't mind Jade's design. Like, I don't know why everyone was complaining about her having bald hair. Don't actual monks who do martial arts have that? Like, didn't mind it. I liked all the tattoos and markings on her. Those were pretty cool. I liked Jade. I was like, Jade, I will say when she told Kitana when she was chained up, you chose the wrong side. I'm like, Jade, you bitch. Knock it off. Like, you gotta realize you're fighting from the wrong group here. But we go to Netherrealm and we finally see Hanzo Asashi again, Scorpion. And I'm like, okay, where is he at? Because this doesn't look like Netherrealm, but then we do find out memories are very hard to control in Netherrealm, but dreams, if the will is strong enough, can be controlled. And he's just like, I think, raking, and there's these beautiful flowers, and it's actually very beautiful, and there's peaches too. And Kano's like, like he said about the whole devil and everything stuff, like, that's a bunch of bull. And I'm like, yeah. Well, it's all beautiful until until Hanzo hears that Bihan is back. Everything starts to wilt. everything starts to just fade away. Even the peaches, and that was a very ominous scene where you see flashbacks of what Hanzo remembers, the death of his family, and everything's like dying, like wilting away, just like his dream is like he thought he could just be in this dream in peace, no longer having to worry about Bihan. Well, he's back. I just love how this scene plays out, because then you see like him get his blade, his costume starts to appear, and then I actually just love the whole big fight that happens with Bihan, Noob Saibot, where first it's Scorpion, Johnny Cage, and Kano. I love his shadow. I love how they do all that. And a lot of people thought that when he gets sliced in half in the trailer, that was at the end of Bihan. It's not actually. That whole sequence is really good. And then it also is blended in with the final battle with Shao Kahn, with Liu Kang, Sonya Blade, and later on Kitana. Liu Kang, I guess, dies. I'm like, holy shit. I really like Liu Kang. Actually, Liu Kang is one of my favorite characters, alongside Scorpion and Sub-Zero. I played him a lot in Shaolin Monks, and I'm like, Shao Kahn, you son of a gun! You just ran him through, you bitch! I'm like, but then, like, Liu Kang says, I know what I gotta do now. My journey is to save Kung Lao. It's not over, this is just the beginning. It's not my destiny to kill you, it's someone else's. And then he does, like, something like the Phoenix. Well, according to legend, when the Phoenix dies, it could be reborn. So I'm guessing that's what's gonna happen with Liu Kang. I just hope he's not a zombie vampire hybrid like he was in Armageddon. I hope not. Anyway. Just the fight with Bihan, and I just, with Bihan and Shao Kahn, Sonya Blade gets badly beaten. And then Kitana finally joins in and says, I renounce you as my father. I renounce Outworld. I am now a fighter of Earthrealm. And then she goes on, takes on Shao Kahn. And then it takes, like, the combination of Jade, Scorpion, and Kano to, like, try and kill him, to destroy the amulet. But I love when Scorpion says, let fire be cleansed, and then turns his head and goes, ah, shooting the fire. I freaking love it. I really loved the fight with Scorpion, with Bihan and everyone else joining in. And I also like that when Kano's like, you shitting me, you don't got no powers? And Kano's like, no, I just got good looks. And he's like, we're fucked. I thought that was freaking hilarious. I cracked up laughing at that. But then, at this point, Johnny Cage and on the other side, Kitana are not doing good. They're both on their last legs, pretty much. Shang Tsung decides to show up and try and kill Raiden with a dragon dagger while he's vulnerable. But then, Johnny Cage gets up, puts on his glasses, and actually he gets powers. And there's no Akan, there's no dragon mark. He gets like this, he gets the green energy kick, like, that he does in the games. And I'm like, whoa, I didn't expect him to get any powers. I was open up to it, but I didn't think he was going to get any. And what happens is they destroy the amulet. We see Bihan fall, but I don't know what happened to him. Did he actually die, or was his fate left unknown? I don't know. I didn't see him hit the ground or fall in the lava. I think Bihan survived. I think they did that because I think they're going to want to bring him back for the third movie, because I do know the third movie is already in the works. And I really like it, what happens with Shang Tsung, actually. This was actually kind of funny, because when Raiden gets all his powers back, and he's like, you're supposed to be dead! And Raiden says, you're supposed to be right now, you're supposed to be running. And then does like an electrical charge and kicks him out, pretty much. Shao Kahn gets defeated in the most brutal way. I don't even know how to explain the fatality. She, like, takes off his helmet, shows his face, good with the prosthetics. Once again, the actor who played Shao Kahn was phenomenal. The size, voice, he was perfect. And I know we're probably going to see him again, because I get a feeling this ain't the last we've seen of Shao Kahn, despite his gruesome demise. I don't know, especially she like takes her fans, sticks like one here, one there, and like, and like then his head slices. It slices like in like it slices here and here, and I'm like, oh, that's gnarly. I just thought that was a cool way to end it, but then she actually becomes the ruler of Outworld, and I'm like, your real father would be proud. And Jade by her side. Then we actually go back to the Tarkins, and they're all the kids and Baraka are all sitting there like, what did you do next? What did you tell Raiden? And they're all excited and pumped, and I really like them. Raiden and Sonya Blade and actually Kano and Jade and Katana show up, and this is what I liked about this ending. And of course, we do see Hanzo Hasashi back in his dream realm, which I'm kind of glad happened. He got some peace, but I don't think his peace is going to last long this time either. I do think Bi-Han survived the fall, and I do think he is going to show up for number 3. I actually like how Rain says, we've lost too many of our champions. We are getting them all back. And then you actually see, they actually kept Quan Chi too, because he's pretty much the only one that knows how to do it. And actually, we see Baraka, Kano, Johnny Cage, Katana, Jade, Raiden, Sonya Blade, and tied up Quan Chi. And I'm like, I like it. I actually like it that some of these characters that were antagonists actually are helping the good guys. I like that. And of course, we get it and the end credits, and I'm actually excited to see what happens next. I actually give this movie an 8 out of 10. I'll be honest, and you're going to ask me why that is so low. The pacing. The pacing is super fast, and I really think it's a little too fast. I think there should have been a couple moments where just to breathe for at least for a few moments. Some of the characters are kind of underused, like Sindel. Sindel is underused. Shang Tsung's not really used that much. He's used a little bit more in this movie than he was in the first. But still, Shang Tsung didn't really get a lot to do. He got like one little brief fight scene. That was about it, but he didn't really even do much. Quan Chi. There was a little interaction between Quan Chi and Shang Tsung. So I'm kind of hoping that's maybe teasing a Deadly Alliance film. I would love that. The pacing is a little too fast. And also a couple characters were very underused that are fan favorites. And I just hope in number 3, these little issues are rectified. Because the first movie was a 6 out of 10 for me. Because it was such a departure from the games. And that, I didn't, like I said, I don't mind Cole Young, but when I went to that first movie, I was thinking maybe Liu Kang or Johnny Cage was going to be the main character we follow. He's not. They're not. But, and also Kung Lao dying, so in the very first movie, when he too is very iconic. But here, it's a lot higher. It's a massive upgrade from the first film. If you love this movie, if you love Mortal Kombat, you love the games, you love the characters, you love the fatalities, this one's for you. This is a massive upgrade. And I'll be honest, some of the critics that I've seen, like even I think the one producer or director is like, they don't get this movie. And I'm sorry, I agree. This is a movie made by a fan for the fans. I'm sorry. If this is not your cup of tea, I get it. But I think really critics need to be a little bit more little easy on films. I know you got to criticize certain things if you see something wrong, but I think sometimes movies are either overly criticized or overly hated. Because then they end up being loved years later. And I just think every movie should give a chance. Yeah, you're going to have those blockbusters, you're going to have those Academy Award winners, but sometimes it's just nice to have a good, fun, action-packed movie just to sit back with some friends and family and go watch, you know? So, yeah. Mortal Kombat 2. Big improvement. Loved it. Actually teared up 3 times. Yeah, I love it. And I'm just glad, because the reason why I wasn't so sad about the ending is because Raiden's going to make sure they get everyone back. So we're probably going to see Jax, Cole Young, Liu Kang, Kung Lao all back. So, can't wait to see number 3. Until next time, I am Draco Prime 220, signing off, and I say, get over here! See you later.